Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is the January 2022 Mac Voices update, our first for 2022. A number of things I'd like to call your attention to and maybe give you some updates on, especially for folks who are new to Mac Voices. First up is Mac Voices Live, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, whatever time that is, wherever you are. We do Mac Voices Live on YouTube at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. And we'd love to have you join us in the chat room and share your comments, thoughts, questions, whatever you have to offer. We'd love to accept it and comment on it. But for those of you who are not in the right time zones or geographically located to participate or just are unable for whatever reason, those shows edited get added to the Mac Voices feeds. Sometimes they're added right away. Sometimes, depending on our schedule, they take a little while to get there. But I especially want to call your attention to the next two Mac Voices Live episodes that will make it into the feeds. We had a couple great discussions about, they ended up being product shows almost. The first one had to do with what our best purchases were of 2021. And the second one had to do with our workspaces and the equipment that is there and how we are set up. I think you will enjoy both. There are a lot of great ideas. I know I came away with some ideas about tweaking my own workspace. And it seems like, especially right now, with so many of us working from home, our workspaces are extra important to us. And so maybe you will find either some gear or some tips and ideas that can make your workspace just that much better. We also have the Mac Voices Slack. And this was the first month that we had the opportunity to welcome in someone new to the Slack for a little while. Looks like we'll be doing this very same thing next month in February. And the way you get access to the Mac Voices Slack is to become a Patreon supporter of Mac Voices at some level. We changed that starting January 1 so that anyone that contributes at any level gets access to the Mac Voices Slack. Obviously, it's not required, but I think that you will find some of the conversations that go on in there interesting. And of course, you're more than welcome to throw in your own thoughts, ideas, questions, and have them kicked around. That's what the Slack is all about. This is more a procedural note. I'm in the process of trying to discontinue some of the old Mac Voices audio feeds. So I might ask you, if you would, to please go to iTunes or whatever your favorite podcatcher is that you use on a regular basis, and make sure you are subscribed to the correct audio feed if you're an audio feed person. If you're the video feed, obviously that's great. That hasn't changed. I'm trying to discontinue those. I'm just not sure that everybody's getting the messages about the discontinuation. So if you would take a look at that, I would really, really appreciate it. We've tried migrating or swapping those feeds over, and sometimes it seems to work and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm never quite sure. And I'm always hesitant to shut them down completely because I don't want to leave anyone behind. So if you would do a double check on that, I would greatly appreciate it. It means that you won't miss any Mac Voices, and it means that I can shut down the feeds. Let's see what else. We have, as we always do, I wanted to alert you that for the video folks out there, we have both monthly and annual playlists on YouTube and Vimeo. So that if you want to go back and watch all the shows in a given month, there's a playlist for that. If you wanted to see all the shows for 2021, there's a playlist for that. And we now have a new playlist going for 2022. So it's something that, it's a feature that sometimes gets used. It had been suggested a while back, and it's pretty easy to implement. So it's there for your use. It's also time for what seems to be a semi-annual announcement about the naming scheme for Mac Voices. Again, especially if you're new, this always comes up. The way I name the shows is I put the year first and then the number of the show after that. So, for example, the first show of 2022 was 22001. And of course, it goes on from there. I started this when Mac Voices first started instead of just the regular numbering scheme, and I like it. And I think it's very useful because at a glance, at any given moment, if you look back in the archives, you can get a quick idea of about when a show was recorded. So that's why I have not done 22,000 shows. Might seem like that at times, but that's why it looks that way. And so if you go and take a look, I think we were for 2021. I think we were 248. So that meant 248, 246, whatever the number was, shows for that year. So that's just a little thing, but you'd be shocked at how many times I get asked that question. That brings us to the support report. And before I get into that, I want to thank everyone who supported us in whatever way they supported us in 2021. Whether you were a Patreon subscriber or a PayPal donator, or whether you visited the MacVoices live shows and contributed that way. If you told people about us, we really, really appreciate that. I always appreciate it if you can click through our sponsor links and decide if what they offer is for you, because I think we have a great group of sponsors, and I'm very, very proud to have them. And of course, Amazon link click-throughs or any of our affiliate link click-throughs, that all helps to pay the bills and keep the lights on and keep MacVoices rolling along. So thank you very much. And heading into 2022, more of the same. If you can share the word about MacVoices, become a bigger participant through the live shows or the Slack, or just email me comments. I always appreciate it. I'm always looking for ideas and feedback on the show because I really want the show to be something that you want to watch or listen to. That's the big objective, of course. So let's kick into this month's support report. For January 2022, we had no one at Platinum. At Gold, we had Webb B, David G, and Frank P. At Silver, we had Craig A, Tim G, Michael D, Bruce E, Chuck P, Hal P, George R, Newt S, and Daniel S. And at Bronze, we had Tom C, Brian F, Greg H, Clinton M, John M, and Prop P. So an extra special thanks goes out to all of those folks who help us keep MacVoices rolling along. With that, I'm going to go get ready for the next edition of MacVoices, and I hope you will join me then. I'm Chuck Joyner. We will be back soon. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.